Welcome back, everybody. It was a heartbreaker last night after the Detroit Lions had their 4-game winning streak snapped by the Kansas City Chiefs with a brawl breaking out seconds after the game ended, actually kind of before it actually ended. As the two teams came onto the field to shake hands, cameras showed an exchange between safety Brian Branch and Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes appeared to put his arm out to shake hands with Branch. Branch just kind of snuffed him and walked past. That led to a scuffle with both teams spilling onto the field to break up the chaos. And then another heartbreak for the Detroit Tigers fans. The Tigers lost in a nail-biting 15-inning battle against the Mariners on Friday. Now, while Kerry Carpenter hit a home run, the game was really a battle between the pitchers. Here are some crazy stats from that game. It went on for 298 minutes, 472 pitches thrown, 115 plate appearances, and 37 strikeouts, tied for third most in postseason history. So, to talk about what we can do to drown our sorrows, Derek Hutchinson is here for some perspective. He is the digital executive producer and co-host of our sports show, Detroit Sports Plus. Let's go back to the Lions game and just kind of start there. I know it's frustration. We'll talk about the scuffle, but the game itself really comes down to mistakes and missed opportunities.
Yeah, for me, it boils down to 3 key mistakes that the Lions made. Obviously, there was the opening drive where they didn't realize the trick play they had drawn up was an illegal formation.
Right.
Jared Goff even said after the game, like, I didn't even know what we did was illegal. So that cost him 4 points. The Aiden Hutchinson late hit on Patrick Mahomes, which was very late after the throw. That extended a Chiefs drive. They would have been facing a 3rd and long, and who knows, the Lions might get off the field there, only down 3. Chiefs go down to score a touchdown, and it was kind of iced after that. And then obviously the Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably the most reliable guy on this entire team. He almost never drops a pass. This time he drops it on 4th.
Everybody has a bad day.
Yes,
it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, nobody would even remember if it had just been like a 2nd down drop, right? But because it was 4th down, because the Lions were at midfield, the Chiefs turn around, they score. And then right after halftime, they score again. It was kind of the turning point in the game.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the end of the game. I think it was like 12 or 13 seconds left when all that started going down. We've looked at every angle, trying to break it down. From what we can see, it was Mahomes trying to say something to Branch, whatever it might be. And then it was on the other side where Schuster kind of took offense to that. And then kind of got into it. And you can, I don't want to say it was a cheap shot, but Branch certainly, he knocked him pretty good, right? And I, from what I could read, it sounds like he may have some kind of injury to his nose.
You could see Mahomes kind of like, it kind of looked like he went up to like dap him or like say good game, but you don't know what Mahomes said. But either way, Brian Branch was not having it. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously he's right there. So he was probably like, hey man, what's going on?
What's up with that?
And immediately, like, I think I would call it a cheap shot. I mean, sure, they were, you know, he could see Branch, but Branch really went at him like immediately. So yeah, who knows how bad the injury is to Smith-Schuster, but either way, I would expect Brian Branch to definitely face punishment and probably be suspended.
That's what we talked about it this morning. I'm thinking at least a 1-game suspension.
I would think so, yeah. And with the way the Lions are dealing with injuries into their secondary, and Kirby Joseph is playing hurt. With Tampa Bay coming in, this is just terrible timing for Branch to do something like this.
Now, if you're the Lions, do you let the league handle it, or do you also come down with your own kind of punishment to send a message that we won't tolerate that kind of thing?
I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell did something in-house. I don't know that we would necessarily hear about it.
Yeah, we'll never know about it.
Right, exactly. But like Dan Campbell was very frustrated, and this isn't the first thing that Brian Branch has been involved in. I'm sure you'll remember he was ejected for an illegal hit against the Packers. Went off the field flipping off Packers fans. So like,
apparently you can't do that either.
Yeah, like Brian Branch, the edge that he plays with is part of what makes him such a great player, but that comes with some of these sort of like extracurricular things. So Dan Campbell is really good at sort of keeping control of his roster while also letting his guys be themselves. So I think he'll handle that in-house.
I will say that I like the way that Campbell handled it, just apologizing right off the bat and saying that what he did was inexcusable. I know you listened to what Branch said after the game, too, in the locker room, acknowledging that what he did was childish, but then kind of almost trying to say, but here's why I did it.
It was heavy vibes of like, coach told me I had to apologize, but I'm going to do it my way. And like the heat of battle was still wearing off. So like, yeah, Brian Branch, it was not really an apology, but he basically just accused the Chiefs of like taking subtle cheap shots in between plays. Which feels like the kind of thing that happens during football, and I could see why that would be frustrating.
There was a lot of commentary, too, about the Chiefs not getting a whistle blown or any kind of penalty or flag at all.
Yeah.
And saying that they played such a great, clean game. Was it a clean game, or was it just calls that didn't happen?
Tough to say, right?
Right.
I mean, some of the big ones, like the illegal formation on the Lions and the Aiden Hutchinson late hit, to me, they were so clear that the officials had no choice to call it.
Right.
The catch, not catch with Travis Kelce was a big topic of conversation. Obviously, the Chiefs ran up and snapped the ball before it could be reviewed.
Right.
That was a tough one. And you saw Kirby Joseph going off on Twitter, I'm sure, with all that.
So, it's going off. He just blew up on Twitter for at least an hour.
Yeah, I did not come away from the game with the impression that the Lions lost because of officiating, but did the Chiefs get a little bit of a friendly whistle? I mean,
a little bit.
That's nothing new.
A little bit. I'm going to butcher the names, but do you remember the meme where there was the concert fair couple?
Yeah.
Did you see the new one?
I did.
It was Mahomes holding a ref and getting caught.
Yeah.
It was so good. Okay, transferring over to the Tigers then. We all knew going to Seattle was a tall order, right? There was going to be a tough game. I don't think any of us expected to go 15 innings and go out the way that did.
No, it's funny. My soul is just leaving my body slowly during this entire segment. But yeah, that was a tough way to get the weekend started off. Obviously, a great baseball game.
Yep.
I mean, back and forth, excruciating intensity. It just felt like who's gonna get the one big hit, and then that's gonna be it. And for it to take 15 innings, I mean, this is a game that people are gonna be talking about for years and years because of the stakes, because of how intense it was. And it just hurts that every time Tigers fans see it or hear it mentioned, they're just going to have that feeling in their gut like, man, so
And what's
close.
funny about this is that you've juxtaposed this to the Lions' loss, and we can talk about missed opportunities and things that happened in that. And in this instance, the Tigers did a great job in that game, staying with it all 15 innings. So it wasn't like we screwed up. We played, we matched. It's just they got that one extra bat in, and now that's it.
Yeah, that's typical playoff baseball right there. Like elite pitching, the concentration and the importance on every single pitch that's thrown is just heightened. And, as well as the Tigers pitched, the Mariners pitched even better, obviously. So it's difficult for the Tigers to only get one swing in 15 innings. The Kerry Carpenter home run was the only swing that they got. And with the way the Tigers have been batting the last 6 weeks, it's sort of just the peak of that frustration, but it doesn't feel like the kind of game where the Tigers blew a bunch of opportunities. No. They just couldn't get a rally together, and that's kind of the reason they were even in this position in the first place, and it's what ultimately ended their season.
I mean, I'd been tired after one half of an inning, much less 15.
Dylan Dingler caught 15.
Just exhausting. I mean, Lions lose, Tigers lose, Michigan loses, Michigan State loses.
Yeah.
The Wings won.
They did. The Wings won.
6-3 against the
regular
Maple Leafs.
season game. The one bright spot,
Well, we will take whatever we can get at this point. All right, Terry. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.